Right, this is a prime time of year for people to feel burned out. Summer vacation long gone, the long holiday slog is about to begin. So in addition to your normal stress load, there is a big heaping helping of holiday expectations loaded on top of that. So what can be done to help out? Dr. Shilpi, friend of the show here, joining us with a look at why we burn out and how we can reclaim our better selves. Just in time. Thank you.
Totally feeling it.
Yeah. So what are the signs that you actually have it? Like, some people may feel like, oh, it's been a hard day at work, but how do you define burnout versus just a bad day?
Other stress hormones, yeah. There's actually really 3 specific signs that we look for when we consider someone being burned out, or you're worried about someone who is burned out. And the first one is really that they're mentally exhausted. So you feel like you can't engage in anything. You're just not getting the same pleasure that you would normally out of other relationships. The second thing is a lot of depersonalization, or kind of removing yourself. So you're going through the motions of your day. You're almost robotic in some ways, but you're just not engaged. You're not really active. You don't feel a sense of purpose. And then last, we also know, it's a very important one, increasing criticism. So we feel more criticisms towards ourselves. So it's like, I'm not excelling at my job. I'm not really great at, my home relationships. People feel a very increased sense of lack of performance, and that they're doing well in general, that they're excelling anywhere in their life.
Now, what types of things, like not enough sleep, those kind of things, can those really contribute to it as well? Is it sometimes simply just getting enough rest?
A lot of times people who are burned out don't get enough sleep, but what we kind of know is that it's a compounded bunch of things. So increasing chronic demands on us, we're overworked, we have too many things on our to-do list. People always feel like they're catching up with things. They're never really ahead of the game. That can contribute to burnout. We also know that career stress, work-life balance, people bring home their job stress, and they're never able to really separate it. And then also, a lot of us really lack balance. So without that balance, you're not able to separate things, and you're not able to have that support system to help alleviate some of those things on your task list.
So what do we do?
Yes.
Well, it's important to understand medically what's happening when you say, oh, what is burnout, right? In our body, we've got adrenal glands, and those are small little glands, but they do a lot. They produce a stress hormone in the body called cortisol, and we need cortisol. It's actually a good thing. If you run a race, for example, your body's pumping some cortisol through there, and you need that. But when we're chronically stressed, we just poop out the gland, basically. There's not enough to go around, and you feel exhausted. Your body can't produce it, so your cortisol levels start to plummet. So there's 4 important things you can do to kind of stave off burnout, or if you're already feeling it, to help you recover. The first one is sleep. I always say, if you're having a bad day, just go to sleep. And that's because sleep is a really restorative, reparative time for the body. It helps to rebuild those stress hormones and helps the adrenal gland to get back into gear and help you later on. The other thing is taking time to relax. We know that it's easy for me to say, relax, just go home and, put your feet up. Many people can't do it. So I always recommend, start out with putting a timer on your cell phone, 5 minutes maximum, listen to a song, watch a funny video. I mean, there's so many of those out there now.
That's the hardest thing, because I know, like, for me, if I get to that point where I feel burned out or stressed out, like, I can't relax. Because, like, for me to just sit down, then all these thoughts come up, like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to just, like, check out.
But the good thing is, if you start in small increments, you say, okay, I'm only going to do it for 2 to 5 minutes. When my alarm goes off, I'm going to get out of this zone of relaxation. Then you're likely to add that more. Exercise, another great way, because that naturally produces feel-good chemicals that are going to help balance those other stress hormones. And then a few supplements that I usually recommend to people. First, vitamin C. We know that when you're chronically stressed, that can quickly get depleted. And to make stress hormones in your body, you actually need vitamin C as a cofactor. So if you don't have enough, you won't make those stress hormones. And the other thing is rhodiola, something also called another supplement, which is called golden root. And what that does is it actually helps us to regulate stress levels in the body. It keeps cortisol at an adequate level and helps the body to adapt to any stresses around us. So taking that, you want to start at around 100 milligrams a day, is really going to help you get rid of that feeling of burnout. It'll take a few weeks, but eventually you'll feel the improvement and difference.
When is there ever a point where you can't snap out of it? And at that point, should you come and see a professional like yourself?
Yeah, if you're feeling any of the symptoms, you probably should see a professional even sooner. If you feel any of those 3 symptoms of lack of engagement in your job, feeling very run down, emotionally exhausted, we can test for these kind of levels and help to give you supplements, give you things that can help repair all of those sort of deficits that you're having and get you back to where you should be.
All right. Or perhaps some people just need a new job. That could be part of it too.
Or
I mean,
they
really.
need some balance in their job.
Are you passing this around?
You guys can keep that here for the tough seasons.
All right,
Thanks,
Dr. Shilpi, thank you.
Thank you.